Gee, Steve, what are we going to do tonight?
Same thing we do every podcast. Tell them how we sees it.
All right, here we go. It's How We Sees It, episode 304. We're starting Spooky Month for 2025. So we get a big month this one. It's like a 5-week kind of podcast schedule. So we're going to get a ton of this in. And those that have been with us for a while understand we do these a little different because we kind of do a podcast on what we're talking about, what we're going to see and what we're going to watch, and then we go and watch it, come back, no time delay for you guys, and then we talk about it. So it's all fresh and right off the cuff. So
I had a good omen. I was walking Ivan after work today, and I knew this was our first episode to kick off horror spooky How He Sees It October month.
Yeah.
And I looked up and I saw a bunch of crows. It was starting to rain a little bit. You know, ravens or crows or what? You know,
I think they're crows.
Yeah. But I like to think of them as ravens because that's a little spookier. But there were like 9 of them on the telephone pole or on the.
It was an attempted murder.
And then I'm like 1, 2, 3. I'm counting them 9, and then another one lands. I'm like 10, and then another one lands. 11, 12. 13th one landed. Really? I'm like, there we go. 13 crows on a wire.
It only counts if you go 13.
Anyway, I thought that was a good omen for to start our month off.
I always think it's fun. Yeah, crows are just raven light.
Yeah.
And then I love. There's that meme where it's like 2 crows sitting there, and it's like an attempted murder. Because you have to have 3 of them to be a group. I think it is always fun. Nice. That's really cool. Yeah, we're jumping into this. This is always a fun time. Well, not only that, because I mean, you guys hear our voice, mine and Steve's, all the time, and occasionally some other guests. But our fun guest for Spooky Month is back. Allisha is here with us, and this is actually, we do this because of you. We did this before the podcast, but we would go and watch movies because I was telling someone about this today. I go it's a great mix because it's the spectrum of the horror genre watching, where I'm on the couch with my feet up, tied up in a blanket, like scared out of my mind, and you're giggling at the same scene, and Steve's kind of just in the middle, and we were laughing about that, and then I was like, but it's even better, though, because then we also joke and laugh and have a good time with it, so it's a lot of fun.
It's fun bonding, too, because our spouses just aren't into horror movies.
Yeah.
So it's
true.
Yeah, you got to go outside the circle, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, so I was excited for that because it's always fun. And this is the movie. I saw the trailer not too long ago because I think it only came out just a couple months ago. And we had done a movie from the same director last time in Barbarian. And so this first one we're tackling is Weapons. And I think this is going to be a much scarier, a much more fucked up, a much more just in your face kind of horror movie than Barbarian was, which kind of had some moments, but it was more funny.
But Barbarian had a split personality. Like the first half of the
totally
movie was genuine horror, and then it just took this weird turn, almost
like the California driving. And
like,
what's going on here?
Yeah, but we were laughing more at that one. I don't think we're going to be laughing as much. I think this one, just from the trailer, I was like, okay, my anxiety level is already up. Like it just is, and maybe it's because it's dealing with kids.
Yeah, maybe.
Speaking of kids, do you think our audience members can hear the kids screaming in the background?
Yeah. The baby goats.
Yeah,
it does sound like murder out there.
Our neighbor has. It used to be like 4 or 5, and then they had kids. And then that went for a little while, and then I don't know if they got more or they just had more kids, but now there's like 14 or 15 of them, and they, like, if I go near the fence, they just run over because I've been cutting down trees and like sticking the limbs over them for them to eat the leaves, and so if they see me, they just lose their shit. And they make a lot of noise like someone's killing them. So the trailer for this, all we get is it starts off with, this is a true story of so-and-so's class. And on this date, I don't remember what the date was. All the other students showed up except for her class. You haven't even got that part? Well, you got to know this part.
It's been a while since I've seen the trailer, and I didn't.
It's not really a spoiler. It's literally the
It's the whole
premise.
literally just the one sentence premise.
Okay, go ahead. Keep talking. I'm just going to cover my ears.
That's what we're here to talk about, is what we know about it. So, well, Steve knows nothing.
We're gonna ruin all of it for Steve.
Spoiler alert for the trailer.
Some kids go missing.
Yeah, and that's basically what it is the kids go missing, and then as you get deeper into the trailer, it gets more and more hectic, and you just see people running and just violent.
I did see kids running on the poster, so I did.
Well, that's the funny thing,
you
and
go.
and now we're going to get into that, because that leads right into my drink.
Perfect.
So we're going to cover our drinks, because that's what we do on this podcast. We may create a cocktail or drink, or we buy a beer that matches with whatever it is we're watching, so that we can pair it right up. And mine, I wanted to pair with the one thing I could glean from the trailer that I thought would work out, and it's the kids, because they run with their arms out.
They do run weird.
Like, it's a weird kind of like, if you saw someone running like that in real life, you'd kind of laugh at him. You're like, what the hell's wrong with that dude? But what it reminded me of was like running around playing like airplane. Like, so,
Okay.
And so I found a drink that was actually, it's based off the paper airplane cocktail. But this one's called a Missing in Action, which also, boom, leads right back into the show. So I was like, okay, I'm going to just do that. It called for 3/4 ounce of all the ingredients. I ended up doing 1.5 ounce accidentally at first, so I just kept with it. So it's a double.
Sure, accidentally.
Accidentally, I'm going to make sure I get more than I need. It called for Maker's Mark, and since I didn't have Maker's Mark, I wanted to find something else. And I was like, what else would go with this? I had a Wild Turkey 101. So I was like, yeah, I'll go heavy on the Wild Turkey. Why not? Called for an aged Jamaican rum, and I did happen to have a aged Jamaican rum. I think, Steve, you got it for me for my birthday a long time ago.
Me and getting all that alcohol for your birthday, man.
Yeah, it works.
Why not?
So I've had it around. It's perfect for this. So, and then it said a selective aperitivo. Is that how you say that, right? Aperitivo.
I think so.
Okay. Bo will text in and let us know. And then so I did an Aperol, because I happened to have that around, and I kind of wanted to get a little bit of a sweetness into that. It asked for an Amaro. I happen to have an Amaro, so threw that in there. And then a 1.5 ounce of the fresh squeezed lemon juice right off the tree from the front yard. It said blood orange juice, but I wanted to change it up a little bit, because blood oranges, they don't just grow on the trees out front. But I had a blood orange bitters, so I did not
Nice.
a full 1.5 ounces of the bitters.
Yeah. Ooh.
I pulled it back to a 3/4, and then a little bit of simple syrup. So.
Nice.
That is my Missing in Action. Also did this in the shaker, so it got all mixed up and nice and cold, and poured it in a Collins glass over ice. And
Looks delicious.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks refreshing.
ooh, ooh, that's really good.
I have to ask a question. Have y'all ever made a drink where you then taste it and you're like, no, this is
Yeah.
not a good drink. You're like,
I mean,
I've
I'm
done
running
messed up.
about a 90% success rate, but there have been a few where I was like, I don't think there's ever been one that I didn't finish.
I'll try to drink a little early and tweak it. So,
Oh,
so
okay.
I've had some that this
you
I
pregame.
haven't tried yet. But typically I'll get an hour ahead of time. I'll make my
Okay.
drink, and if I gotta mix it
And
up a
I
little
just
bit.
go straight into it, like taste it right on the recording. So I have had a few where I was like, ooh, not right up my alley, but I don't think there's ever been any that I didn't finish, because I'm one of those people that just, if you put it on your plate,
mean,
you got to
yeah,
eat it.
yeah,
And I
for
paid
sure.
money for that alcohol. I'm not.
I'd pretty much finish a drink.
Yeah. Noah leans into the sweeter ones. I'm a little bit more on the bitter
the
cocktails.
savories.
I'd go more sweet.
Yeah, I really like the fruit, forward, the sweetness and things like that. But I will every now and then throw into something else, just kind of random. And those are typically the ones where I'm like, yeah, probably won't drink that one again. But yeah, so that's my Missing in Action.
Yeah, good title.
Go ahead, Allisha.
Me?
What do you got?
Okay, so as you know, I'm the beer drinker. I really was kind of disappointed with the the beer selection at the store is like gargantuan, but I was really hoping for something about school or teachers, like back to school, and I couldn't find anything. So I went with, it's by Del Cielo Brewing Company. I think they're out of Martinez, and it's a hazy IPA or a hazy pale ale, and it's called Mental Haze. And I went with the Mental Haze mostly because I felt like with the trailer, like people aren't really knowing what's going on, and it's just kind of confusing for everybody, and there's a lot of fingers being pointed potentially type of thing. And so I just felt like this will work for me. You know, everybody's in a haze. They don't know what's going on. And also, like, where are the kids? Like, what's going on with that? So that's why I chose this. But unfortunately, it's not quite cold enough, so I'm not going to
crack it open yet.
Crack it open just yet.
I do like the label on that. It's got the skull with the brain on it. It's kind of cool.
It is.
We can get you a cup of ice if you want.
Party
foul.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I've had beer from them before, so they're hazy.
I've never. I don't think. Not that I can recall. I don't think I've ever had them, but. I like hazies. It's my favorite, so I'm sure I will.
I had a really good one last night
at
Taps. Fieldworks. It was Emperor Citra. It was a really good double.
Nice.
Really enjoyed it. All right, Steve, what do you got for us?
Well, like you guys are aware, I have not seen, or at least I don't remember seeing the trailer. And I wanted to avoid looking up too much on this because I didn't want any spoilers. So instead, I did a little research on the director, Zach Cregger. And he directed Barbarian. And he also was a founding member of a sketch comedy.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know about this, so I got introduced to the sketch comedy troupe, the Whitest Kids You Know, and their stuff it's immature, hilarious.
Yeah.
It's these little shorts where they do just
white shit,
obnoxious. Obnoxious. It's like the Lincoln assassination, and Lincoln's up in the balcony, making foul mouthed comments at, and just trying, creating a scene, and one of the audience members goes up and beats his ass with a hammer, and that's the true story of what happened to Lincoln. I mean, it's just absurd and ridiculous, but it always starts like, oh, this is kind of an interesting idea, and then it kind of turns itself on its head. Just seems really weird. And there's a lot. I guess they did 60 episodes and 30-minute episodes, or 20 to 30-minute episodes. So it was around for a while. I think it was until 2011. So I got exposed to that. I thought, well, if that's called The Whitest Kids You Know, I'm going to call my cocktail The Whitest Cocktail You Know. And since there's kids on the cover of the poster, I thought I'd lean into a kid-friendly white. So I decided to kind of make this look like a glass of milk.
Yeah, it totally does.
So let me tell you what my cocktail entailed. It was 1.5 ounces of gin, 1/2 ounce of elderflower liqueur, 3/4 ounces fresh lemon juice, and 1/4 ounce of absinthe. So it's like this sneaks up on you a little bit, just kind of like these sketch comedy, these little shorts. 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. And then you top that with 1 ounce of milk and shake it up and pour it. And I'll tell you, it looks like milk.
It totally looks like milk.
Like Noah, I made myself a double just so I could fill the glass. I added a straw just because it just seemed to.
I mean, no, it's very kid-like. No,
it fits. It
the
fits
straw
drinking a milk.
is perfect. Yeah.
So here we go. This is my Whitest Cocktail You Know, without knowing anything about the movie we're getting into. So cheers. Damn. Oh my God, that is not milk. That's good. It is not milk.
That's not milk.
You stare at it long enough, you start getting convinced.
It does look like a glass of milk.
Well, it kind of reminds me of someone that like poured milk in a cup that they already had hot or chocolate milk in that had just a little bit of residue.
Yeah.
Because it's just a little off-white.
Yeah.
So it's like you had to refill your cup back after, or cereal milk. It has a cereal milk tip.
Yeah, I could probably put a little chocolate in here, get a little chocolate milk going, but then I'd go away from the whole whitest.
Yeah.
True.
Whitest
Yes.
cocktail theme. I think I could have cut back. If I tasted this earlier, I probably would have cut a little bit back on the lemon juice because it's got quite a sour kick to it. No.
With milk. No, I can't.
I was going to say, usually milk and lemon, it curdles.
Yeah.
No, I think I balanced this pretty well. I didn't get curdling.
That's
We're
good. Because usually anytime I've tried to do any kind of cream or something with the lemon, it curdles. So it's always a scary thing because it's like, oh, you kind of want that. Like I have that one I used last week, the rum chata that is the pineapple cream, and it's like, ooh, it's like citrusy but smooth. And you're like, ooh, I like that idea. And then you're like, ooh, no, it's gonna curdle.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, we're gonna take a break and watch the movie, and then we'll come back and tell you all about it. So spoilers when we get back.
Yep.
It's gonna be a little while for us, no time for you guys. So take this 2-second break and go make yourself a cocktail.
Yeah.
All right, see you in a minute.
A couple
I had
beers?
2 beers.
No. Why? You seem like you're drunk.
But anyways, we're back.
Are we recording?
We are now.
Oh, shit. I'm exposed.
We just finished watching Weapons, and very, very interesting.
Bizarro.
Yeah.
Right.
I was entertained the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, the jokes aside,
But
it was
very
still
weird movie.
interesting that it becomes the weapons and the way they portrayed the AR-15 style or semi-automatic weapon over the house.
Yeah.
That was just that one. That was one moment. I don't know.
Makes no sense now. I kept
that.
waiting for something to come back, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, I get the weapons idea of it because
they're weaponized, and he made the Josh Brolin Archer character made the look, they run like they're weaponized. Like I appreciated that.
They run like they're short a sandwich in the picnic.
They do run weird, and it's a creepy. It definitely
I
makes
still
it
want to
look
run
creepy.
like I could run, but anyways, if
What
I
an
ever have to
interesting-
run, I'm running
What
like
an
that.
interesting way of presenting a horror movie too, in where they take different people's
That was cool.
perspectives and like they tell the story from one person's point of view, and then they shift it to another person's point of view, and then another person, and then at one point it just kind of like jumps ship.
Continues.
And I
It's
do like that it goes back to the beginning, right?
Yeah.
It's not just now they're picking up from that point of view, like
It
in
did
the
go to
timeline.
the beginning,
You know what I mean?
but
Yeah.
it did go back into like, oh, and you saw this from this point of view, and now
Yes.
we're
Now,
back to this.
I got a
Yeah.
question about the very first little opening monologue from a child's point of view. Who made it sound like?
I think she was in the other third grade class.
Okay, but made it sound like there was that the children were never found. Am I wrong?
I think she said they never came back.
Yeah.
They never came back. Okay.
Which at the end, because they mentally never came back, is my
Yeah,
guess.
Good call. Good
If
call.
I recall, that's how they. That's
No,
how
that was
she phrased
exactly.
it.
That's how she said it, and so that makes a lot of sense. Because and they also never walked back unless you did the reverse on the camera, which, then they came home.
Right. We saw that early on. That all they had to do was hit reverse, and they would have just been reunited with their parents.
If you're gonna watch this with friends and make jokes because it makes it so much
I was
better.
entertained the whole
If
time.
we were in a theater, we would have been
kicked
kicked
out.
out.
Oh, well, I
would've
mean,
thrown I would've
would've
thrown
been on
candy
best
at us.
behavior at a theater.
Yeah, no. Well, and that's why I like watching these at the
home,
house because
yeah.
we do get a joke and laugh, and we did have some good ones in there.
Yeah.
This was fun. It was very interesting, and it had a lot. I mean, some creepy moment. Like it's almost like the creep moments didn't all pay off though. Like the clown looking thing in the forest and on the ceiling.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The ceiling one was pretty creepy. I thought,
But it didn't really pay off. Like there was nothing to explain why she saw that.
Well, it was voodoo. I mean, she was inhabiting people's mental spirit.
Well, but she was asleep and saw it, but that she hadn't had any contact with that woman at all.
Was this after her hair got cut?
No.
Okay, it was before.
That's what I mean.
Can we
Is
just
it?
say that was probably the creepiest part of the whole movie for
Oh
me?
my god!
Just like
Especially when they have the camera focused on her in the
In the
driver's
car.
seat, and you hear
the door.
the door open,
Yeah, the
and then
back
like
door
the
open.
car kind of jostle.
and she's still sleeping.
That was
so creepy.
definitely
Yeah.
The scissors then slide into the frame.
Well, I mean, even just the walk out the door,
Yeah.
and like,
They all walked like they were
yeah.
pinching off one.
I mean, yes, but it was.
Wait,
It's
what?
creepy.
Like they had to poop, and they were like,
They were
they had a
holding it
turtle.
in.
They had a turtle
You know
head.
what that means? Pinching off one.
No, I totally knew what it means, but I wanted some more
Well,
explanation.
every time one of the
enough.
possessed person walked, you could just see it's like they're trying to hold in a poop. You know, it's like it just you're like
Maybe that was the direction from the director.
It was like, how do you want me to play this? Well, do you have to poop? Play it like that.
No, you made a good comment about Wong when he was running. Who was it? What's his name? Marcus. Yeah, when he was running and he had his eyes that looked like they were bulging out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he was really having to.
Yeah, you're like,
like,
let one go.
Like I'm holding this in for the life of me. Well,
that was just a crazy thing too, because it was so out of the blue. It was like the first real attack. And he just comes running from nowhere, and his face is all bloody, and you're like, what the fuck? And then when they go back in time and show him and what happened, you're like, oh snap! And that's when we first got.
Oh snap is a perfect because it was the snap from that stick that really triggered it, and it was that's where I think. From a sound perspective in the movie,
that was cool.
The way they just snap and everything went completely silent. And
well, it was the bell
look.
too, and the bell, and that was Gladys, played by Amy Madigan.
Yes,
as the creepy.
So, Amy Madigan, for our listeners, I recognized her in all her creepy makeup and years that have kind of given her skin like saggy skin. You know, she's older, but when I looked up her movies from IMDb, it was Field of Dreams. She was Kevin Costner's wife in Field of Dreams.
I mean, that movie's like 40 years old.
I know, but she was a lovely presence in that movie, and here she is. Everything, the antithesis of lovely. Yes, exactly.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As she was epic in this movie.
I mean, she's only 75. Come on.
Okay.
I was, you know, and part of it is because the wig they put on her. Yeah. I'm like, this is if you turn Ronald McDonald into a weird haunted woman, or Kathy Griffin if you just gave her another role.
Yeah.
Like she looked. It was just like, ooh.
Well, like I said earlier, there was like remnants of her and like some of the behavior that really reminded me of Longlegs, and it was just like that weird makeup and.
I don't think we've ever talked about Longlegs on the podcast.
Not yet. No, we haven't.
This is a Nicolas Cage movie that Allisha and I watched a couple years ago. Really bizarro movie.
It was just last year, right? I think it was just
last year.
Could have been
2024.
Yeah, but that weird makeup and effect and like.
Well, they did. They had it had an It type, clown thing where it showed up in the weird when the tweaker saw it in the forest, but it never paid off. Again, was some weird, like he definitely hadn't ran into her.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense like why they are seeing her, because it was Archer, Justine, and
holes
the tweaker.
among holes in this story.
It's not. I don't know if it's a hole. I don't think it's a hole. I just think that
a chasm.
She's somehow no. I think that she's somehow just in this psyche kind of world, and. Because they are somehow related to this world that she is now trying to possess, like she's infiltrating.
I get what you're saying.
I mean?
Well, they call this a dark comedy, which I didn't catch much comedy in this.
Dark comedy.
Psychological horror.
Towards the end, I was laughing out loud.
Well, we were all laughing, but we were joking.
That's just
because
we're weird.
Well, no. This is they were tapping into that side of us. I think there was something on purpose. It's like, and maybe this is because of the director's background with kind of this weird comedy troupe, and
it is the whitest thing I've ever seen. No, psychological horror, supernatural horror, but then it also says witch horror, and they do the big deal about
definitely witchy.
And so it just usually they tie it back in so you know why people saw that, and that was what was missing. It's almost like there's a cut to explain why she was able to do some of the stuff she was able. That was a little bit missing. And I don't know if this is a 2 hour and 8 minute long movie, which
for a horror movie is pretty long.
Yeah, which it's like there's some things that were missing, and I'm going back though, like what would you cut? There's not a lot to cut out of that would make this that tight
Yeah.
90. Like this
Yeah.
couldn't have been a good tight 90 movie. This needed everything that was in there.
I don't know. They could have, if they decided to go away from the stylized. They could have just chosen. I mean, I'm thinking of producers coming in and saying we want to make this an hour and 30 minutes. They could have changed the style and said, we don't want you focusing on one character and then another character and then another character. We want this to be.
Do you
linear.
think this is strong enough to do that though?
No,
It wouldn't
think
have been
this
as entertaining.
movie. I
Yeah.
think this movie.
That's what I meant.
Really benefited from that style, but I think you could have created a new edit that did not stylize it that way. It didn't have that whole different perspectives from different characters' point of view. You just make it linear.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but I don't think I think it makes it a worse movie. Like
Yeah,
I
I
would
do
recommend it the way it is. If it cut out the different changes and didn't have all the little stuff, I don't know if I would recommend it as much.
Absolutely. This was was this successful?
I think it's
Sure.
yes. I think it's being critically reviewed
It's
well.
got a 7.6 on IMDb.
No, I mean box office wise. I mean
nothing
that's
really
fine.
is anymore. But
Well, that's not true. I mean,
I
it
think
did not
it's
have a.
doing
It
well.
didn't. I mean, if it didn't have a big budget, then $38 million budget. So what was the take?
it made $1.50.
Oh my God, $38 million budget, $265 million.
Yeah, I think
box
it's
office.
doing well.
That's awesome.
I think it's
Yeah.
because
That-
it had all the MCU people in it. Like Josh Brolin really pulls people to the theater.
Are you fucking
I
kidding
thought
me?
it was I thought it was a
No.
great cast. No, it is the reviews, as far as I know, have all been favorable, at least generally.
What do you mean no?
Well,
Yeah, I think it is a good cast. I think the teacher, Justine Candy, whatever her real name is, I don't know. I think
Sparkle
she
tits.
did a really good job.
Julia
Ozark,
Garner.
and she may have been a draw because I think she won an Emmy for Ozark.
And then she's in the new, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but that's more of a result of Ozark. I mean,
Well, no, because this was, okay, more of Ozark. Yes, I give you that. Not this being that, but no, I think it did have a big enough cast. I think the success of Barbarian from last year with the director as it was a decent movie and people enjoyed it and had fun with it. We even talked about what's his name making an appearance.
Justin Long.
Justin
I had
Long.
no idea who was going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
not only that, I think I made a point of this. This struck me as right off the bat as an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and I was waiting for him to make a
Yes.
cameo, just
'Cause it's
like he
just-
does. In
Well,
all his
Justin Long
movies.
took his spot.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
And I would much rather have Justin Long personally. But yeah, no, I think this was people that liked Barbarian were like, oh, I'm going to go see that based on what we saw in Barbarian.
I'm thrilled
I-
this movie was successful and made so much money because it means that it gives kind of directors that come along and say, I want to make something, and then you see their movies not make any money. The producer is going to say, "Fuck you! No, I'm not going to make a
Yeah.
movie." And this kind of proves
Yeah.
that okay, that's still something that can happen.
Yeah,
And
Zach
so-
Cregger is going to get some props from this.
Yeah.
like next year. I mean, he might be the new Mike Flanagan. We might be
I
going.
mean, let's not get carried away, but I will say I didn't even know who the director was until you guys said earlier, oh, it's the same guy that did Barbarian. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that movie from last year. But
Yeah.
I wanted to see the movie just based on the trailer, just knowing that these kids are running weird and
Oh, the
disappear,
trailer is
right.
so perfect for this movie
Yeah.
because you're like, what in the fucking
You
craziness
have
is this?
no idea
But
what
that's-
this movie is about.
But that was what got me. It was like, oh, that caught my attention. And then from the director of Barbarian, I went, oh, okay, now it's
Yeah.
even got more.
So you think
credence.
the trailer was smart in that it
Yeah.
delivered it told you that this is going to be something interesting and weird, and that's good because sometimes trailers try to pull fast ones
yeah, they
on
do
you.
too much.
If Gatorade would have come out with a commercial with like Olympic runners running like that and said, "Now drink Gatorade," I'd have been like, "I need a Gatorade."
You know when you guys were talking about this earlier about the arms, I was thinking about when I was a kid. I used to go into like a like a door frame, and you'd hold your arms.
Oh,
against
yeah,
the
I know
door
what you're
frame,
talking
about.
And you
Walk
do it for
out.
like 60 seconds,
And
and
then
then you
your
walk out, and your arms would
arms
raise.
float.
Exactly, and that's what this reminded me of.
Oh my god!
Oh.
I have not thought about
So,
that in what? 40
It reminded
years?
me of
Jesus.
watching my daughters when they were playing soccer at a very young age, when kids are not as coordinated and not necessarily only athletes play sports. And there would always be one kid that would run like this on the soccer field. And like, what is wrong with that kid?
Yeah,
And so,
just don't move the arms.
yeah, you're like, what? Exactly. And you're just like,
It's awkward.
how do you even run like that?
What
But-
about in Peanuts animated
When they would
Peanuts
dance.
when they do the dance? And they got their,
Oh, yeah.
their arms in weird
Yes.
positions like that. Yeah.
Well, that's the new Wednesday dance too. So
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh my
you go.
God, we just podcast.
Oh.
Have you watched the
Yeah,
new Wednesday?
it was good. Yeah.
Yes,
I liked it.
And the dance between
Oh, yeah.
Enid and
they
who was
they
the-
definitely it's Agnes.
Agnes and Enid. Yes.
Yeah. This was fun, and it had a lot of potential jump scare. Like, it led you up. You're like, oh shit, something's gonna happen. Something, and it didn't always happen, but it was still like enough tension. You're like, you got me, you son of a
Yeah.
bitch. Even if it didn't. And then it had some that like no tension at all, and then out of nowhere, like that ceiling
Yeah.
clown face. Holy
Yeah,
crap! My
that definitely
sphincter
got you.
snapped on me. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
You know what's interesting about this movie is that it has almost maybe 10%, but I would say next to nothing as far as potential for sequel. They ripped apart the demon. They really did everything they could to kind of wrap this story to where I think it would be almost a perversion if you
Yeah.
turn this into
I
a
feel
sequel.
that way about almost all sequels.
Well, no, I think that's good.
You
It's
know.
almost like the director said, fuck that.
This
I don't want a
is it.
sequel. This is the movie. And I'm going to do everything to tear apart the potential for a sequel.
Jay and
More
Silent
power to
Bob's
'em.
did that,
Yeah.
and they came back with Jay and Silent Bob reboots. So I mean, if they can do it,
Sure, that is true.
Oh my God, but she just got her face ripped apart.
well, I was gonna say that was the
I
other
don't know
thing.
if kids can do that.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, like they literally ripped her
She
like
was pretty
skull
old.
apart.
She
I know,
was
but
pretty
how many were
old.
there? There were like, okay. So
Do you think that you could rip a skull apart? You as a man,
absolutely not. But how
What do
many
you think
kids
a bunch
were
of
there?
kids are?
How many kids were
I
there?
could do it.
17.
17. Okay, I am 5 times the weight of one of those kids, right? I don't know. What are they? 50 pounds? I don't know.
They're third grade, yeah.
Okay,
tiny.
so
I don't know.
I'm 4 times the weight of them.
But they were also
17 kids with their, I don't know.
Skull, a skull.
Okay.
Well,
So
actually,
wait,
really,
don't
only-
believe it.
No, wait.
I don't
We
believe it.
have someone in our podcast right now that actually could talk to this. So tell us, Alicia.
No.
Could
The kids
could
are not ripping-
Could 17 kids
Well, not
do
all
this sort of
17
damage to a
kids.
child?
Not all
To a-
17
to a-
kids
to a
were on the
old-
head. First of all, they
She
were
was-
like
but
all
all they
around the
did was
body.
rip
How
the
old was she?
jaw.
Wait, what did she say? She was 75?
Yeah, she's 75.
Okay.
They-
Alicia.
all they did was
she
rip the jaw.
75.
No, I thought they ripped the top of the
She's-
head off.
No, it was just the jaw from the top
Okay,
teeth to the
all
bottom
right.
teeth. You could
can
do that. Yeah.
I guess.
I don't think they did anything.
As I roll my eyes.
I don't think they did anything supernatural as destroying it, but it was. I mean, I was gonna say it's interesting enough that like it has a little bit of gore, but it's not like so gory, bloody, or like
No,
it's not like a
a
disgusting.
Yeah, it's not a gore movie.
Yeah, which I thought was really done well. I mean, the main character too in this. I guess Justine was kind of the main character. She's the school teacher. The scene where she's fighting for her life and then pulls out the gun, and you're like,
Excellent.
Oh, she shoots him in
she
the
shoots him,
throat.
and it just starts gurgling.
Nope.
And you're like, and it
Didn't
doesn't
do
stop
anything.
him at all. You're like,
Didn't do anything.
oh, and then I was like, oh, that. Okay, sorry, folks. Due to some technical difficulties, being that I didn't check our device for enough storage, we had the podcast cut off short on us with not all the information. So we got about 25 minutes into our post-watch podcast, and the memory just went on us. We didn't notice it until the end. Sorry for that. I can say we all enjoyed this movie, fully recommend it. It was a fun kind of horror genre movie that did a lot of cool stuff. very, very worth watching. So give yourself a treat and watch this movie. Enjoy this movie. Try out our cocktails. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you on what you guys want to hear, what you want to see, and if you've ever done one of our cocktails, or if you have a favorite cocktail that you would like us to try. So sorry for the cut short. Hopefully that you enjoyed the rest of the episode, and get ready for some more spooky season coming at you. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.